G'day guys, this is Jean-Bart speaking and welcome to today's video. Today we are taking a look at the Tier 6 French battleship, the Normandie. Now this video was recorded quite some months ago, not long after the French battleships were released, but for those of you who saw my last Captain's Table video would know the issues I had with my computer and not being able to play World of Warships for 2 months, which also meant no recordings. But now that I'm back up and running again, I can finally get this video done. So the Normandie class battleship, she was sort of built, but sort of not. She was originally ordered in 1912, with construction beginning in 1913. However, with the outbreak of World War I, construction on the 4 ships of the class were suspended and resources were diverted for use by the army. The guns which were to be installed on the ship were converted for use also by the army. Some were converted into railway guns, and the ships remained incomplete throughout the course of the war. In 1919, the program looked like it was going to be restarted. However, it was decided eventually that the program would be suspended, the ships would be cannibalized for parts, and then what wasn't used for the 1922 cruiser program was to be broken up and sold for scrap. So she never actually made it out to sea, but here in World of Warships she lives, and we can use her, so that's great. Now what can I tell you about this ship? First thing I really noticed when I first took it out, and in fact this is actually the first game I played in her, was her speed. She is very, very quick for a Tier 6 battleship. I think the top speed is somewhere between 28 and 30 knots, which if you compare to the Fuso and the New Mexico only have a top speed of I think about 20 to 22 knots. The other thing I noticed was her absolutely terrible dispersion. It's kind of trollish. Sometimes you're gonna get a good hit, other times you're not gonna hit anything. It's very much a shotgun effect, very similar to the Fuso and the New Mexico in that regards. And I'm gonna compare this ship to those two because all 3 ships have 12 main gun batteries. So it's, yeah, as I said, very much a shotgun effect. Sometimes you're going to hit the target, other times you're just going to miss altogether. But her speed definitely makes up for it, and her maneuverability as well. She is quite quick on the rudder, and you can see there how quickly she is turning and still maintaining a pretty good pace of about 23 knots. So she only loses about 5 knots per turn, which is good. It's kind of like, I don't know, firing a shotgun in a drive-by shooting, really. So you're going really, really quick, but you've got these great big guns, and half the time you're lucky to hit the target at all, especially at range. I think you need to be in quite close, even though this ship does have a huge range of 19.8 kilometers. In order to get reliable hits, you're going to need to be somewhere in the vicinity of about 8 to 12 kilometers if you want consistency in your damage. So anyway, we are on the map straight, and we're down by Point Charlie, down the bottom of the map, and there's plenty of ships showing broadside, so this should be a good example of running by that shotgun effect. So perfectly broadside New Mexico here, and 1 penetration, 3 overpens, and 2 shatters. So I can only, because I wasn't zoomed in, I can only guess where a number of those shells hit, but minimal damage. And this New Mexico doesn't seem to have learned his lessons, so I'm going to try and take another shot. Let's see. Shots out. One penetration. And you can just see there the dispersion, like some just falling short, some overshooting, and getting one decent hit. And that's at a range of just over 10 kilometers as well. So yeah, it's a little disappointing in that regard. So we're just going to keep pushing this cap, keep pushing these guys back, try and maintain the points advantage. We are down one extra ship compared to the enemy team at the moment. Again, one penetration, 4 ricochets. I don't know what was going on here. As I said, this was my first game in this ship, and it was just, oh my god, what is going on with these guns? So, but having said that, the Fuso and the New Mexico are exactly the same. The only difference is you've got 4 guns per turret on this thing, compared to the Fuso, which has 6 turrets, and the New Mexico, which has 4. So I'm just going to turn around here, because I don't want to get focused too much, just go a little bit close, but you can see how quickly she's turning. It's just absolutely phenomenal. It is more of a battle cruiser, I guess, than an actual battleship. She got very light armor, comparatively speaking to other ships, or other battleships at this tier. And point of note, the Clevelands that you can see are in fact tier 6. As I said, this was recorded some months ago, well before the US cruiser split. So just continue on. So just try and get this final shot out against New Mexico, and can we do it? Yes, we can. Finally. Again, 1 pen, 1 over pen. That's just this ship. Okay, so now we've got one less battleship to deal with down here. Just got the destroyer, the Cleveland, and the Bayern. So I'm just gonna head back a little bit, reduce the amount of fire. That Miyogi's quite a bit of attention as well. Put some shots out at the Cleveland, and that's just from 1 turret. That dispersion. 1 short, 3 long. What can you do? So just going to go around the back of the cap, head down to the south, use the islands for a little bit of cover. As I said, that Miyogi is about to get focus hard. Looks like a stock Miyogi as well. Now we're up to the north there. That's just coming into range, but he's just starting to turn away now, and there's no way in hell I am ever going to get him at this range. So we'll just keep our attention focused down here for the moment. And also that Kamikaze Yar is heading over to try and deal with that Fubuki. I'm going to try and shot at the fire. What's out? What can I do this time? Oh, 2 pens this time. Makes a pleasant change. I know maybe the French just don't like the Germans. You can say. Oh well. Moving on. Let's come around the back of the island here. I think that Miyogi is gonna die pretty soon. He's starting to get quite a bit of attention. I seem to be ignored at the moment for some reason. I don't seem to be attracting a great deal of attention. Maybe it's a dispersion, maybe they're not. It's like a barn door at 10 yards. Shots out the Bayern again, even though he is angled. Another, oh, 3 penetrations that time. We'll just continue to push on. We've certainly got the advantage now. We're up on ships, we're up on points and caps. There's a big broadside Cleveland here. We do. Just starting to turn away, put the shots out. And 2 pens and 3 other pens. Same old story. But he is turning all the way around. So, and he's going to show me another broadside. Well, this might give me an opportunity. I'm almost reloaded here. Just wait for final turret. Here we go. Just slowing down. Shots out. And bye. Yeah. Trollish dispersion. I guess if you're used to playing German battleships and maybe even the Roma, you're gonna be used to that. So, yeah, something to look out for. Now, at the time I recorded this, I had the French Special Commander in this ship, Jean-Jacques. He was 10 points at the time. I had Preventive Maintenance, Expert Marks, Superintendent, and Silver. Can't remember, but he was what I was using, and those turrets were just turning really quickly, which were really useful, especially in this upcoming engagement against the Bayern. So we've got that destroyer sighted. We are now well within his torpedo range, so I'm going to be very careful about torpedoes. But the Kamikaze finishes him off, and now it's just France against Germany. So what can we do here? Another 3 good pens there. And I'm just going to use this ship's speed and maneuverability, and that is one of this ship's big advantages, is just how quickly she can move and how quickly she can turn. She's very quick. As I said, it's just the shotgun effect of her main battery armament, which is frustrating to say the least. But I mean, I guess you should be expecting that on most tier 6 battleships, and I think the most accurate of the tier 6 battleships that I've seen so far is the Arizona. But certainly, you know, that was a big hit. You know, the Cuzo in Mexico, the Bayern, they've all got fairly average dispersion. I'm just going to maneuver around each other here, and I can be careful here. I can don't show too much. Broadside, you can see his turrets are moving very slowly, but I don't want to turn around anymore because he is also turning to get his guns in the right position. Finish me off, as you almost did there, even just shooting straight in this so lightly armed. Just trying to get this back turret around now so I can finish him off. Dispersion says no! 2 pens and the rest went into the water right in front, so I now have shot a bit more broadside to finish him off. Pop the heel, and we escape. Only just. So yeah, if you're gonna get in close, just be aware her armor is very much at a disadvantage to most other tier 6 battleships. You really need to use that speed and agility in order to save yourself. Probably not ideal to get that close. Maybe 5, maybe 6 kilometers is closest you want to get to another battleship in this ship, but as you can see there, sometimes it's just unavoidable. So we're at 950 points now. They've got 2 ships left. We've got Fuso, and I think that Alba is still loitering around up to the north, not doing very much at the moment. So that Fuso is being spotted by our Cleveland, because Kamikaze is in smoke. And we just lost the Cleveland, and because that Fuso was just fired, he's going to be spotted by the destroyer in smoke. Let's see what the destroyer can do with these torpedoes. We're just going to move up close to the terrain, use the terrain, because if he manages to get a shot off at me, he could very well finish me off. Looks like we got one destroyer hit, sorry, one torpedo hit. And looks like he's moving in as well. That Alba is way too far out of range. I'm not going to worry too much about him. So here we go. He's just under the board, so I'm gonna fire a little bit. One penetration and 3 ricochets, along with the high caliber, which is always nice. But again, even at that range, to only get 1 penetration is really annoying. You could see there he was turning broadside. I should have been able to do a lot more to him than that. Still broadside, can I get another shot out? What's this going to do? Oh, 6 pens. Much better. That's the sort of shot. And he also gets a decent hit on me as well, so now I need to turn away. But I think we're going to cap out before I can get another shot off it. And there we go, game over. So there it was, the Tier 6 French battleship Normandie. Conducting a drive-by with a shotgun. Although we did do pretty nice damage in the end, 136,000 damage is always really nice with a devastating strike, dreadnought, and a high caliber reward. And we topped the list as well, which is always really good too. So I'm not gonna go through the build I had on this. I already mentioned it earlier. In some other French battleship news overnight, the Tier 8 French battleship Jean-Bart, the sister ship to the Richelieu, is currently in the super test, so I'm very excited about that. I'm really looking forward to seeing what that ship is capable of and what she can do. So it'll be nice to have all 3 Tier 8 French ships in my port. I really enjoy playing the French battleships and the French cruisers. They are just so much fun to play. I now have the Republic, and I'm really enjoying that. But anyway, guys, that's it for me for now. I hope you enjoyed this video. As always, take care of yourselves, and I'll catch you all later. Woo-hoo.